segment here. I just wanted to take a second to tell you about the boys' Bible study that we've had for the last year and a half. It's been something that God has used. It's been these senior boys, and there's a couple of underclassmen that have come, but it's mainly been them as juniors and now seniors, and they have definitely grown and in their walk, and they have gotten together just to do different Bible studies. It's not something I'm leading. They get in the Word, and they've been sharing with each other, but they've also used the time as accountability just to keep each other accountable. And so I've asked Ronison and Laura and Alex just to kind of give some instances where God's worked in their life and kind of through this Bible study. And I will say the three of these guys are not going to tell you ever that they're perfect. In fact, quite frankly, they've been very honest and open that they're not, about their setbacks and sins in their life. And that's really why the accountability in the Bible study has been just a great thing for this, really the group with these three. So I just wanted them to take a few minutes to share some truth with you guys. And so I'm going to start with Ronison, and I'll say kind of something about each person. Ronison, one of the great things that I've loved about Ronison, man, is his transparency just with the group about kind of dealing with anger and trying to overcome, just not losing it, having some self-control and patience. And it's something that he's asked the group, hey, I want to be accountable. I want you to keep me accountable. And he hasn't been afraid to share when he's failed. And that is great because he's honest with where he's at. And so God has actually worked in Ronison's life. And so I want him to share a little bit just kind of how he's grown. So I'll give you the floor.
Well, I mean, God is good, and it took me a while to realize that growing up in a Christian family, and I always did it because it's what the family did, and I heard my dad preaching, and he'd always say not to serve the God that I serve, but the God that you serve, the God that you believe in. Make God personal to you. And I was able to realize that coming from Deerfield, coming into this school, because Deerfield, I was looked at as the pastor's son. So therefore, I was already higher, against everyone else. But then I'd have moments where I just sit there and thinking, is that the light that I'm producing? Is that what people really see about me and my actions and what I say, what I do? And it became real to me coming to this school. Honestly, when my mom told me I was coming to Highlands, I was like, it's a Christian school. I don't think I'm gonna get along with the kids. I came here and I started to get to know these guys and Rats as well. And basically in Bible class, when we started going over the gospel, I realized this is real. And when Rats made it clear to me that the creation is by God and nothing else, then I knew the Bible is truth. And I started digging deeper, and I wanted to find the gospel in the New Testament. Not only did I learn that the Old Testament is connected with the New Testament, but also that the gospel of Jesus Christ is shown in the Old Testament as well. And so, seeing that, always talking to Rats and the guys, I realized the Bible has more things in store for me. And so, I sat down with them and I wanted to see what is the one thing I struggled with the most. And for me, it was self-control and anger. And if you guys watch me playing sports, you'll be able to tell. I can't keep my calm, basically. And I remember one night I was in my room and I was just reading the Bible. And for some reason I landed on 1 Peter chapter 1. And I read through the chapter and I was like, okay. I go next day, it's still in my head, and I don't know why, it was like pain in my head. And then I was like, you know what, let me look at it again. I read it, I took notes this time, and the big picture that I got from it was being more Christ-like. And I was was looking at my life, and it's like, that's not the picture I'm painting. And it was hard for me at the moment because it was like, people respect me, thinking that I'm this, but I'm not. Do things I say, my things I do, the way I react to certain things. I wasn't giving God's light. And so I talked to the guys about it, and you know, we made it through the school year. And the big thing I was forgetting is accountability. You guys need to make sure you keep yourselves accountable for things like these. And I had to learn that, not really a hard way, but with the help of a teacher. And I'm thankful for that. And so I really hope you guys are able to get connected with the Word. And yeah, that's my senior year.